Alright, y'all. Welcome to my second rant of the day. Another rant that's going to be in my anniversaries playlist. And once again, I'm here to reminisce the good old days of wrestling. About a wrestling pay-per-view that aired on this day 15 years ago on pay-per-view. And if you read the title of my video, then you know which pay-per-view I'm talking about. This was during the Ruthless Aggression era, my second favorite era of the WWE. Even though no other era can beat my favorite and the best era of all time, the Attitude Era. The pay-per-view that I'm going to be reminiscing that aired on pay-per-view 15 years ago today. The 2003 WWE Survivor Series. Wow, it's been 15 years since the 2003 Survivor Series aired on pay-per-view. This and the 2001 WWF Survivor Series are my two favorite Survivor Series pay-per-views. I've been wanting to do a rant celebrating 15 years of the 2003 WWE Survivor Series ever since I thought about doing a rant celebrating 17 years of the 2001 Survivor Series, which I will be doing this Sunday. And I just can't believe it's been 15 years since the 2003 Survivor Series aired on pay-per-view. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into all the matches that aired in the 2003 WWE Survivor Series. Now, before the 2003 Survivor Series aired on pay-per-view, the first match was the kickoff show that aired on Sunday Night Heat on Spike TV, which was Jamie Noble versus Tajiri for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I actually missed the kickoff show because I was busy waiting for the 2003 WWE Survivor Series to air on pay-per-view. So Tajiri, after hitting Jamie Noble with the buzzsaw kick, he pins Jamie Noble and retains his WWE Cruiserweight Championship. That's exactly what it says right here. Yeah, Tajiri retained his Cruiserweight Championship against Jamie Noble. Tajiri pinned Noble after a buzzsaw kick. So that was pretty much the kickoff of the 2003 WWE Survivor Series that aired on Sunday Night Heat on Spike TV. And I miss Sunday Night Heat. That's where all the kickoff shows would air before a WWE or WWF pay-per-view would air. So now we get to the first match of the 2003 Survivor Series, which was a wrestling match for SmackDown. And this pay-per-view was not just for Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. It was for both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, with Jerry the King Lawler and JR as the commentators for Monday Night Raw, and Taz and Michael Cole as the commentators for SmackDown. The first match was the 5-on-5 Survivor Series SmackDown elimination match. Team Angle versus Team Lesnar. Team Angle, you have the team captain Kurt Angle. Team members: John Cena, R.I.P. Chris Benoit, Bradshaw or JBL, and Hardcore Holly. Team Lesnar, you have the team captain Brock Lesnar. Team members: the world's largest athlete, The Big Show, A-Train, Nathan Jones, and Matt Morgan. Before the match got started, when Brock Lesnar came out while his theme music was playing, Hardcore Holly starts attacking Brock Lesnar prior to what Brock Lesnar did to him on the SmackDown Before Survivor Series. Referee Brian Hebner was trying to calm Hardcore Holly down, but Hardcore Holly pushed Brian Hebner and went right back attacking Brock Lesnar. Then Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit tried to calm Hardcore Holly down, but before that could happen, the ring announcer already announced that Hardcore Holly has been eliminated by disqualification. You know when you put your hands on a referee during a match, that's an automatic disqualification. So Brock Lesnar's team was already up 5-4. And finally the bell rung when A-Train and JBL were in the ring. And wham! JBL hits A-Train with the clothesline from hell. And A-Train is the first member from Team Lesnar to be eliminated. So it was tie, 4-4. Until the Big Show chokeslams JBL. And then 1, 2, 3. JBL gets eliminated from Team Angle. Then Kurt Angle eliminated not one, but 2 members of Team Lesnar. He eliminates Matt Morgan after hitting him with the Olympic Slam, then make Nathan Jones tap out to the ankle lock. And here comes Brock Lesnar giving Kurt Angle the F5, and Kurt Angle gets eliminated from his own team. Both teams were up 3-3 until Brock Lesnar eliminated Kurt Angle. So it was 2 men left on each team. John Cena and Chris Benoit for Team Angle. Brock Lesnar and the Big Show for Team Lesnar. Then Brock Lesnar gets eliminated from his own team after tapping out to Chris Benoit's crippler crossface. And the Big Show was the only member left from Team Lesnar while it was still John Cena and Chris Benoit for Team Angle. John Cena tagged himself in when the Big Show had Chris Benoit in a position for the chokeslam. He chokeslams Chris Benoit, and John Cena was the legal man. He hits the Big Show with his lock chain and hits him with the attitude adjustment back when it was known as the FU. And then 1, 2, 3. Team Angle defeats Team Lesnar with John Cena and Chris Benoit as the survivors for Team Angle. And even though John Cena and Chris Benoit hated each other, they shook hands after the match was over. And I'm so glad that they won this match working together as a team. And of course, John Cena, when he was walking out of the arena, he did his "you can't see me" thing. That was definitely a great 5-on-5 Survivor Series SmackDown elimination match. I'm so glad Team Angle beat Team Lesnar. The next match was a match for Monday Night Raw. Molly Holly versus Lita for the WWE Women's Championship. After Lita missed doing her finishing move, the moonsault, Molly Holly executed the Molly go-round for a near fall. Molly performed a drop toe hold on Lita into an exposed turnbuckle. Yeah, Molly Holly was trying to find a way to cheat and retain her WWE Women's Championship by hitting Lita right through the exposed turnbuckle. She got the pin and she retained her WWE Women's Championship. I believe that it was probably I believe Lita had cashed in her rematch clause against Molly Holly for the WWE Women's Championship. But that was actually a great women's match. Molly Holly versus Lita for the WWE Women's Championship. The next match was another match for Monday Night Raw. Shane McMahon versus Kane in an ambulance match. Who remembers that episode of Monday Night Raw when Shane O'Mac was trying to recover from what Kane did to him, I think, a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw back in 2003? He was in the hospital and he was given an interview by Jerry the King Lawler and the coach, Jonathan Coachman. Kane was in the hospital attacking Shane McMahon, if you guys remember that episode on Monday Night Raw. The match started on the outside when Shane O'Mac was thrown into the steel steps by Kane. Midway in the match, Shane executed his finishing move, the Leap of Faith, through a broadcast table on Kane. Shane hit Kane with a kendo stick and tackled Kane through a security booth with an SUV. Shane executed a coast-to-coast off the roof of the ambulance on Kane. In the end, Kane defeated Shane O'Mac in that ambulance match, giving Shane McMahon a tombstone pile driver on the floor and threw Shane McMahon into the ambulance and won that match. I figured that Kane was going to win that ambulance match against Shane McMahon. So there's nothing more I can say about that match. I'm mad that my prediction did not come true. I wanted Shane McMahon to win, and I was mad that he lost. Next match was a match for SmackDown. The Basham brothers, Danny Basham and Doug Basham, versus the Los Guerreros, Chavo Guerrero and the late Eddie Guerrero. The match started on the outside when Los Guerreros attacked Shaniqua, who tried to stick her nose into Chavo Guerrero and Eddie Guerrero's business. After Chavo accidentally attacked Eddie, Danny pinned Chavo with a roll-up, and the Basham brothers retained their WWE Tag Team Championships. If it wasn't for Shaniqua sticking her nose into Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero's business, Chavo and Eddie would have become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. So the Basham brothers, y'all got lucky. I actually wanted Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero to win, and I was mad that they lost that match. Oh, the next match is another one of my favorites. The 5-on-5 Survivor Series Monday Night Raw elimination match. Team Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Team Eric Bischoff. Determine who will be the permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw. If Stone Cold Steve Austin's team wins, then he gets to put his hands on any superstar that doesn't obey his rules. But if he loses, his career with the WWE will be over. So, the members from Team Eric Bischoff: Big Pumpa Pump Scott Steiner, the World's Strongest Man Mark Henry, Y2J Chris Jericho, Christian, and the Viper Randy Orton. The team members for Team Stone Cold Steve Austin: H-Town's own Booker T, the Dudley Boys, Rob Van Dam, and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. When Stacy Keibler was on the apron of the ring, I thought she was going to get jiggy with it, but she was actually cheering for Booker T, even though Scott Steiner was accompanied by her. Scott Steiner grabbed Stacy Keibler by the hair until the Dudley Boys came from behind, giving Scott Steiner a double German suplex. And then Booker T hit Scott Steiner with the bookend, which in my eyes looks like The Rock's rock bottom. And then Scott Steiner was the first to be eliminated from Team Eric Bischoff. So Stone Cold Steve Austin's team was already up 5-4. Just when Booker T was about to do a cross body slam on Mark Henry. He got caught into the World's Strongest Slam. And then Booker T gets eliminated from Team Stone Cold Steve Austin. Booker T, you made a big mistake trying to do the cross body slam on Mark Henry, and you know he weighs more than you do. Mark Henry weighs like 400 pounds. And you knew you was going to get caught in the World's Strongest Slam. That's why they call Mark Henry the World's Strongest Man. Then, after the Dudley Boys hit Mark Henry with the 3D and Rob Van Dam hit Mark Henry with the 5-star frog splash, all three of them pinned Mark Henry on top of each other, and Mark Henry gets eliminated from Team Eric Bischoff. So Stone Cold Steve Austin's team was up 4-3. Then I believe Rob Van Dam gets eliminated after Randy Orton hit him with the RKO. Then I believe Devon gets eliminated after Chris Jericho hit him with a flashback. Then Bubba Ray Dudley gets eliminated by Christian after Christian hit him with his finishing move. And oh boy, Shawn Michaels was the only member left from Team Stone Cold Steve Austin, while it was Chris Jericho, Christian, and Randy Orton left from Team Eric Bischoff. Even though Shawn Michaels was losing a lot of blood, he still kept fighting and he never gave up. He eliminates Christian after hitting him with the sweet chin music. Then it was up 2-1 for Team Eric Bischoff. Just when Chris Jericho was about to give Shawn Michaels the Walls of Jericho, Shawn Michaels countered with the roll-up, and you should have heard JR. He said, yes, yes, yes. I love it when JR always be cheering for the good guys. He's been a face commentator since day one. Since he came to the WWE 25 years ago when Monday Night Raw premiered. I love how JR always be cheering for the good guys. That's why he was the best commentator that the WWE has ever had. So it was down to Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton. It was one man left remaining from each team. And then, this would really make me mad. That damn Chris Jericho want to get mad and not take the loss like a man, hitting Shawn Michaels with a steel chair, almost knocking Shawn Michaels' head off. I mean, the referee couldn't do nothing. Chris Jericho, he already got eliminated. He couldn't be disqualified because he already got beaten. What a no-good piece of garbage was Chris Jericho. You got your ass beat fair and square, Y2J. What else do you want? Just like in the 2001 Survivor Series, after he got eliminated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho wanted to get mad and not take the loss like a man. He turned heel by attacking The Rock, almost costing Team WWF the match and for the company to go out of business. Really, Chris Jericho? And 2 years later, he did the same thing, not taking a loss like a man, hitting Shawn Michaels with a steel chair after he got eliminated. That's what I don't like about heel wrestlers these days. They always want to get mad and not take their losses like a man or a woman. So it was down to the last two, Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels. And it was actually going great. Just when Randy Orton was about to give Shawn Michaels the RKO, Randy Orton ran into referee Mike Chioda. And Shawn Michaels, I believe, hit Randy Orton with the sweet chin music. And just when Shawn Michaels was about to get the pin, here comes the animal Batista sticking his nose into Shawn Michaels' business, giving Shawn Michaels the Batista bomb. And I thought Shawn Michaels was going to kick out. But the referee counted 1, 2, 3. And oh boy, Team Eric Bischoff defeated Team Stone Cold Steve Austin. Which means Stone Cold Steve Austin's career with the WWE was over. But you have to give Shawn Michaels credit. Even though he was losing a lot of blood and he was by himself after his other team members got eliminated, he still put up a good fight and he never gave up. Eliminated one team member after another. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin was giving his farewell speech to the fans that was watching this pay-per-view match. And just when he was about to walk out of the building, guess who decides to come out and give Stone Cold Steve Austin an interview? The coach, Jonathan Coachman. Really, coach? You want to come out and stick your nose into Stone Cold Steve Austin's business while he was trying to have his farewell speech to the WWE fans? Really, coach? And he also brought in a bunch of security guards too. He says, see, Stone Cold, these security guards are here to escort your ass out of the building. But boys, before we do that, I got one question for you. Just one. How does it feel, Stone Cold? How does it feel to know that you are through? You are finished. No longer ever in the WWE. And thank God Stone Cold shut the coach up by sucker punching him and beating the hell out of the security guards. And the coach was trying to run out of the ring like a coward and not fight like a man. Really, coach? And then Stone Cold stumped a mud hole into the coach and gave him the middle finger and hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner. And Stone Cold, as usual, brings out the Steve Weiser and celebrates his final moment in his career in the WWE. Now we get to the next match. I believe it was for SmackDown. Vince McMahon versus The Undertaker in a Buried Alive match. And I'm surprised that this video has already went past 15 minutes since I'm using my old phone instead of my iPhone. So in this Buried Alive match, The Undertaker punched Vince McMahon. In the result, Vince McMahon was bleeding. Then The Undertaker hit Vince McMahon in the head with one of the shovels. After Undertaker assaulted Vince McMahon, he carried him to the gravesite. Vince McMahon hit The Undertaker with a shovel, which resulted The Undertaker falling into the gravesite. But he pulled Vince McMahon right into the gravesite with him. The Undertaker climbed to a front loader, but an explosion knocked him out. And Kane had the audacity to stick his nose into his big brother, The Undertaker's business. Attacking The Undertaker and threw him into the grave. Vince McMahon operated the front loader and dumped all the dirt from it to win this Buried Alive match. I actually wanted The Undertaker to win, and I'm mad that he lost, thanks to a distraction by his baby brother Kane. Really, Kane? You want to stick your nose into your brother The Undertaker's business just when he was about to win this Buried Alive match against Vince McMahon? Oh my God. But that was actually a great match. I'm not going to lie. And now we get to the final match of the 2003 WWE Survivor Series. The Game Triple H versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. So in this match, Triple H was focusing on Goldberg's injured ankle. And then Triple H decides to bring his buddies of the Evolution, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the Animal Batista, and the Viper Randy Orton, to stick their noses into Goldberg's business. Goldberg, however, hits Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista with Triple H's sledgehammer, which was brought by Triple H. Then the match ended when Goldberg hits Triple H with a spear and a jackhammer slam. And then 1, 2, 3. Goldberg wins the match and retained his World Heavyweight Championship. And this main event was a match for Monday Night Raw. I'm so glad Goldberg retained his World Heavyweight Championship, even though we figured that Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair was going to stick their noses into his business. Even though that was during the good old days when Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair were part of the group called Evolution. And they also reunited on the 1000th episode of SmackDown, which was the best segment of that 1000th episode of SmackDown.